there are, I know, a lot of studies on long-term consequences of health issues, that, we're supposed to be sleeping when the sun is down and awake when the sun is up, kind of thing.
It's interesting. The World Health Organization actually labeled shift work a probable carcinogen.
Wow. Yeah,
That's, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like that. And so it's tough because, when people come to me and they're like, hey, I do the night shift, I'm a nurse, or hey, I'm a factory worker and I do the night shift, there are strategies and things you can do, but it's just so not natural. Like our bodies are, circadian clocks are synced to the rising and setting of the sun. And so when you're going against nature, which that's night shift is going, you're going to have consequences, and you can get away with it for a little bit, especially if you're smart and you know the strategies. But eventually, it's going to increase your risk of every major disease: heart attack, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's. And so it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation for our night shift workers, unfortunately.
Yes, I think this is an emerging field now of chronobiology and really understanding about the clocks, not just, in every cell of our body, and how it really is impacting our health and sleep, and the effect of the phone,
Yes. Yes.
all of the and EMFs and all of that. I mean, what do you think about all of that stuff? I mean, I've heard quite a bit about, and I'll admit, guilty, we sleep next to each other. I know it's bad.
Yeah, this is with me. Yeah. Yeah, it is bad. I mean, your cell phone is not the best bed partner. It really isn't. And, honestly, I mean, it's so debatable. There's studies that show EMFs affect health and sleep, and there's studies that show it doesn't. I'm a believer that why take a risk? And so, but we're so hyper connected to technology, and they're, beyond just the, electromagnetic frequencies and the things that's coming from our devices. It's also the stimulation, the social media, the checking of the emails, the brain never gets a chance to shut off. And that's a form of stress. And it's no wonder that most people have issues falling and staying asleep. I mean, there's constant connection. And we live in this faster paced world, and it, like most people that we work with, they never feel like there's enough time. And that puts there's a stress that comes along with that. And that's a cultural thing, right? I mean, I felt that. I'm sure, Bonni, there's been times probably where you
Yeah.
felt that, right? And so we carry our day into our night, and then we have challenges shutting off our mind. And a busy mind, it's makes perfect sense why there's so many people struggling with their sleep.
Yeah, so like one of the things I talk about, which I'm thinking you speak to as well, is something called like sleep opportunity versus actual the time you're sleeping.
Yeah.
And like, and basically setting everything up. I mean, one of the things you talk about, which I'd love you to elaborate on, is that when you have a sleep problem, it's 24 hours disorder. It's not just like I can't sleep.
Yeah, and it's so important for people to hear this and really get it and understand it. It is a 24-hour disorder. It is not a bedtime disorder. If you are having challenges falling or staying asleep, it's not, and the reason why this is important for people to get is you can't separate your day from your night. You just can't. And if you view it as a bedtime disorder, a bedtime problem, you're going to get in this problem-solving mindset, and you're seeing sleep as a problem, and sleep is not the problem. Sleep is a result, or lack of sleep is a result. It's not the problem. It's all the things that we're doing during the day that then have sleep seeming like it's a problem. And so, and I always tell people, it's a great night of sleep starts as soon as you wake up. As soon as you wake up, you're setting yourself up for whether or not you're going to have an amazing night of sleep, or you're going to have a night where you're tossing and turning, racing mind, maybe racing heart, and just, really not feeling good about your bed and bedroom and sleep situation.
Okay,
So,
well, then I would like to dive into this right now. What is the perfect day to set ourselves up for sleep?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you what the perfect day is. I can give you some pointers, because there really isn't a perfect day. But Waking up and getting sun first thing in the morning and starting your morning slow. This is so important. And the reason why this is important is our cortisol is highest in the morning. And what most people do is they jump right into their day. They're having their coffee, which is like dumping gasoline on their stress fire. And then it heightened level of stress all throughout the day. We're texting, going from the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. All this tension and pressure builds up in the body. And then we think we can just turn it off, when we shut the lights off and go to sleep. It doesn't work like that. So starting your day slow, whether that means getting up a little bit earlier to create that space, getting outside, moving your body, getting some sun on your skin to reset the circadian clock, getting up at the same time every day. That's really helpful for our circadian rhythm. And then really, it's a matter of understanding, okay, we are not computers. We're not computers. We're not machines. We're not robots.
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, Elon Musk is working on that one. But we treat ourselves, we live our lives, most people, including myself, when I don't have awareness around it, we treat our lives like we're machines and we're robots. There's no space. There's no rhythm. It's just like this constant doing. And that creates a form of stress. That's a form of stress. It's this buildup in tension and pressure in our bodies that then has us not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep. And I can keep going, but I just want to just make sure that people heard what I just said.
Yeah, I've heard that stress. There's many other things and a couple other topics I would definitely like to dive into, but I have heard that stress, it is actually the number one thing that can prevent people from sleeping.
100%. In my experience, it's 100%. A lot of times people think, oh, something's broken. Something's physically wrong with me. I have, something is going on in my body that's keeping me from sleep. And there's a Harvard study that showed that I think it's 90% of health conditions are stress related.
Oh,
It might
yeah.
even be more than that. It might have been 95. I was 90 or above. And it's true. I mean, the result of stress is insomnia. The result of stress is overeating, which leads to obesity and diabetes. It all kind of stems back to how we're taking care of our mind-body systems. And then we have all these, digestive issues.